Hey guys, this is Chris from mixdownonline.com. Today I just want to share with you a small tip just to bring more character to your bass guitar sound, especially if you recorded your bass guitar inline through your sound card. So first I'm going to have you listen to the mix we're going to be working on.
Tick tock the clock, 5 after 10, I'm getting out of my head. 5 after 10, I'm going.
So there you go. So this is my bass sound without any plugins. So let's listen to the bass by itself. So the bass sounds okay, but we can definitely bring some more to it. So first I'm going to use a filter to shape out my bass sound, thanks to Dave Pensato, and then I'm going to add more to it. So I am going to add one of my favorite EQ, and I'm talking about the Gliss EQ from Voxengo. So there you go, and I'm gonna add a high pass filter. Let's go with 24 dB per octave. And bring that up to until 50 cycles. Alright, so now I am going to work with my bandwidth so I can just add a bit more fat. So by lowering the bandwidth on the Gliss EQ, it will add a bit more 60 to 70 Hertz. So that will beef up the sound without hearing that low end resonance. Okay, now I'm going to cut a bit of 100 Hertz. Just because my kick drum sweet spot is around these frequencies. So I just added a boost on my kick drum. So by lowering that frequency on my bass, I'm just going to tighten that up with the kick. And I am going to add a low pass as well. But just to set that up correctly, I'm going to listen to the bass sound at the same time. Okay, so that's a bit too much, so I'm just going to bring that back. So just to get rid of all of the high end. So around 1.7K is good. Okay, perfect. So that's the first thing I do. Now, just to bring that up a notch a bit, I am gonna play with the bandwidth as well. On the low pass filter. So by doing so, that will emphasize more on the mid-range of the bass. So let's have a listen. Alright, so that sounds good to me. So we just added like 5 dBs in the 1.7, 1.8 kilohertz. So this is going to help the bass to cut through the mix a bit, especially when you're going to listen to your mix in smaller speakers. Now I am going to add some compression, just using the typical Cubase compression. Cutting a few dBs with a ratio around 3:1. Not too low of an attack because I want the transients to go through. And a slower release just to avoid too much sustain out of that bass. So there you go. That's basically it. And now my favorite part. This is where we're going to get all of the character and edge out of that bass. So first, I need to duplicate the track, which I already did. And I am going to start by adding, again, the Gliss EQ from Voxengo. I'm going to add an high pass filter. And I'm going to listen to it at the same time while we're talking here. Just going to bring that up. So now I want to just get rid of all of the fatness of the sound by filtering this out and just keep the high end and the mid-range. So I think around this point is good. So now let's add a bit of distortion. So for this, I am going to use Decapitator. This is one of my favorite plugins, just to add a bit of distortion to a signal. So let's try a few things here. Just going to add a bit of drive. Let's use the punish option right here. Oh, there you go. Okay, so now we're going a bit crazy here, okay? And let's bring the tone up a notch. All right, so now I am gonna... Okay, that's a bit too much, you know? So let's bring our mixed signal halfway. So that will blend the distortion with the original signal. So if I remove that, so now you can feel it and you can hear the kind of distorted sound that adds a bit more character to the bass. And this is really gonna help to shape the sound of the bass. And I'm just gonna compress that signal with my 1176. Again, one of my favorite compressors. So let's reduce, at least 5 dBs. So now with that compressor, I will put a fast attack just to smooth out the transients out of that high bass. I just want that sound to blend with the rest of the bass sound, and I don't want the attack of that high part just to stand out too much. So by bringing my attack time down, the general sound is going to be a bit more smooth for this part. And I'm going to do the same for the release time. I am going to bring my release time lower because I don't want to affect and compress the sustain of that sound. So that's without the compressor. Perfect. Just going to bring the output higher. And there we go. Now let's blend this signal with the original bass. There you go. I kind of like that. So now again, we have to play that in context with the song that we're mixing. So I am going to mute this, bring that channel down. So let's listen to the mix by doing a before and after kind of thing.
Tick tock the clock, 5 after 10. I'm getting out of my head. 5 after 10, I'm going out of my head. I'm going. I said I'm going. I said I'm going.
So there you go. So I think it adds a bit more definition, character to that bass sound, and we didn't overdo it. We could push it a bit, so you can actually bring that second channel up if you want. Just if you want to bring more of that distortion and dirty sound to the bass sound in general. So it's up to you. It's just a matter of balance, depending on the song you're mixing. So I hope that helps. Just don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comments. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. And you can visit my website, mixdownonline.com, and get your free ebook. See you soon.